Yesterday, in the company of my colleagues, we visited the affected communities. And Mr. Speaker, it is heartbreaking to see homes that we visited just 3 months ago down the line were all washed away, demolished completely by the sea erosion. Mr. Speaker, this calls for urgent attention by the government. Right, Mr. Speaker, those affected communities amounted to about 1,200 people from the NADMO's calculation, and over 500 houses were all demolished. As of yesterday, when we were going around, Mr. Speaker, we did not receive any intervention either from NADMO nor from the central government. And people were made homeless, sleeping either in church building, and some people do not even have places to sleep. No, as it were, mattresses, nor blankets, nor any logistics given to these people. And as we speak now, nothing has gone to this community or to the affected people in the community. Mr. Speaker, it is heartbreaking seeing my colleague, especially Honorable Jifagumashi, weeping yesterday, calling on His Excellency the President to come to the aid of the people. In fact, she made it emphatically that she has made a statement on this floor. She has asked questions on this floor. And the Minister for Western Housing was there to witness it. But as of yesterday, not even the Minister of Western Housing, neither the Minister of Interior visited the people, leaving them, oh God, in the hands of the weather. With this, Mr. Speaker, I want to draw the attention of the House to quickly call for an intervention as a matter of urgency to the people of the three constituencies, the Ketu South constituency, the Keta constituency, and Anlo constituency, as a matter of urgency, so that the people can at least have a place to rest, have a place to prepare their meal, and also at least government should serve them a hot meal, something that can relieve them of their pain in their community.
It's really a sad situation in those three constituencies, and it calls for immediate government intervention, Mr. Speaker. I listened to the news this morning. About 15 communities were affected, and from the news bulletin, NADMO had not visited those communities as at yesterday. The tidal waves along the coastal belt, which is about 500 kilometers across this country, that is from the Anglo side of the country to Elubo, ought to be given the requisite attention, Mr. Speaker. I read today's Times and the graphic, and I read that the minister was making a pledge on behalf of government, that government will have to raise funds to complete the 8 kilometers of coastal sea defense or coastal protection within that enclave. I know Amandi did the phase 1, and the phase 2 is about 8 kilometers, which has to be completed. So as a House, we call on government to take urgent steps to save life and property, and to look for the money to protect the good people of this country who live along the coastal belt.
In March, when this happened for the first time under my tenure as the Member of Parliament for the constituency, I heard the comforting words that he has just reiterated. In May, I heard the same expression of commiseration. In November, I'm still hearing those words. It's traumatizing to hear it repeated so often. It will be appreciated if some action is taken. Mr. Speaker, I didn't cry only because I have enough tears. I cried because I thought of the people I went to with the Minister for Roads, for Works and Housing. I went to those communities with him. I went to the same communities with His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. And yesterday when I got there, those homes were all gone. All I saw were piles of blocks as remnants of what is left of people's homes. I imagined what would have happened if it was my home, because I live by the coast in Aflau. My house is not more than less than a kilometer from the sea. And I was terrified that should I have gone home and found my house reduced to blocks, what would I have done? I've heard my colleagues, and I thank them, but I want His Excellency the President to hear me too. I've been speaking. He can't say he hasn't heard me. I'm urging this House to stand by the people of Ketu South. Stand with us in this time of grief, in this time of devastation. Cold comfort never warmed any heart. What will warm our hearts is to see that indeed the contractors have moved to site, that indeed within the shortest possible time, the so-called place that has been found will have a temporary structure put up for the people to find a place to lay their heads. That warm food and warm clothing is provided for these people. Mr. Speaker, please, may I appeal to you to use your high office to engage His Excellency the President on my behalf, that Cabinet must sit immediately and take that bold decision that the sea defense will start immediately. That is the only consolation. How traumatizing this has been for me in the 11 months that I have become a member of Parliament for the people of Ketu South.